right now. Dave, what are you seeing?
Lightning behind you there. We're starting to see some of these thunderstorms coming into the Birmingham area right now. We have those gusty winds. We have heavy rain. Nothing severe across the area right now. That still could change over the next couple of hours, but we are still dealing with that weather aware because these gradient winds out ahead of the storms are gusting to 40 to 50 miles per hour. Just had a gust to 45 at Birmingham's airport. Damaging winds potentially with the storms, and tornado threats really low. It's more in South Alabama, but heavy rain coming in with this system as well too. And you can see that level 3 enhanced risk. This will be trimmed back now that the storms have been moving out of Mississippi, but main area of the worst severe weather will be South Alabama. We're at a level 2 risk here, but still have to deal with the threat for those gusty winds. Tornado watch in effect there does include Sumter, Greene, Hale counties back over toward Perry, as well as Chilton County to the south. Nothing for the rest of central Alabama. Goes till 1 a.m. And I suspect the farther south you go, the more unstable air will be with the wind shear. That's where the greater tornado threat will be. Here's the rain moving in toward Coleman, Aniana through Birmingham and Brent back to the west. An intense line back here. We're going to watch as this moves on in. That could actually bring us some stronger winds as it moves through. So we'll keep an eye out for that as we go in the next few hours here. But you can see Coleman area back over toward Hansville. The rain coming through Hayden, Warrior, Morris back toward Sipsey, Summerton, Jasper, Cordova, Carbon Hill area. Ending in Double Springs at the moment, but more is coming. Barry back toward Fayette, getting some of that rain. Heading through Tuscaloosa back over toward Reform and Gordo. And there you can see there from Columbus, Mississippi back down toward Macon, that intense line coming in. That's mainly some strong winds building into the area. That eventually will work its way toward Pickens County and Sumter County. Right now from Warrior through Birmingham, Gardendale, Fultondale, Hoover, Homewood area back over towards, say, Trussville, Moody, Chelsea area, Alabaster, Pelham, getting that rain moving in with some of the stronger winds about to come in. So this could easily down trees and cause some problems for us with those power outages. But we'll be watching that secondary line coming on in. No lightning with it right now, but you can see there have been some warnings in Mississippi because of some stronger winds. Tied in with that is that cold front, kind of really that leading edge of where that line is, and it moves into the area. Winds have been gusting now 43 here, 39 there at Alabaster, and over towards, say, Fayette around 37. We'll see these winds gusting over near 50 miles per hour at times this evening, causing some power outages here. And on top of that, trees down, power lines down, and they're sparking off some fires out there. And with more on that, as well as why we haven't seen as much humid air across the area, let's check in with meteorologist Jacob Woods. And Jacob, you've seen some of the storm reports out there and some fires. A lot of them actually have been sparking up.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. You can tell ahead of where the line of storms has passed through with the damaging wind report starting as early this morning around really before sunrise in the Dallas metro area. Took the brunt of a lot of those heavier winds, came through northern Louisiana. We've even had some fire reports, as you mentioned here, for central and northern Alabama, just from those strong gradient winds, the breezy conditions that we've had well ahead of this line. But what I want to take away from this is where that more humid, moist air is, where these green contours are. You've noticed today it's warm, it's windy. What are we lacking? We're lacking moisture. That's the third ingredient that we really need for storms to be severe up here in central Alabama. So we're going to see some of this moisture try to creep maybe as far north as Birmingham going into around the 8 p.m. hour. That would be when that secondary line that Dave showed back in Mississippi would be pushing on through. It's that line that stands the best potential for some damaging wind gusts and maybe a brief tornado, although that risk is looking extremely low, but it's not zero. Notice once we get towards around midnight, that's when the line of storms would be in our eastern counties going into Georgia, and that moisture completely choked off and suppressed towards the south, which means that that severe threat will begin to wane as the night goes on. So Futurecast shows, again, we have that heavier rain falling, not severe ahead of the main line, but it's this line that we're watching from Hamilton back towards the Columbus, Mississippi area right now. By around 8 p.m., it's going to be along the I-65 corridor, so that's when Birmingham, Alabaster, Brent could be looking at their heaviest rain and gustiest winds. And then by around, let's say 10 o'clock tonight, Fort Payne, Gadsden, Anniston, back down towards Alex City will be getting the brunt of that heavier rain. It all moves out of here by as early as 1 o'clock in the morning. So that means tomorrow morning we're waking up with dry conditions, maybe a few peaks of sunshine, but you can tell a lower deck of clouds builds in here for the later afternoon and evening hours. So that means it's going to be much cooler tomorrow with windy conditions developing, or at least I should say continuing. Gust over 30 miles per hour at times through your Wednesday, with temperatures falling from the upper 50s to the low 30s by Thursday morning. Of course, don't forget to turn those clocks an hour forward for Saturday night.
All right, Jake.